that's so insane when it comes to contradictions. One of my favorite new ones is the Mamdani grocery stores. They said, how are you going to ensure that people from New York have access to this grocery store? Well, they're going to have to show ID.
But not to vote.
Yes.
But not to vote.
But how crazy is it that your checkers game is so shitty?
Brothers, obviamente saben quién es este señor. Joe Rogan salió ayer en su podcast a rostizar a Mamdani, que es el alcalde de la ciudad de Nueva York, que es el socialista, el primer alcalde que realmente abiertamente dice: soy socialista y voy a poner todos los principios del socialismo, los voy a meter en Nueva York. Y lo está haciendo. De hecho, una de las cosas que está metiendo son tiendas de abarrotes y de lechugas y todo eso del gobierno. Entonces, lo que hace es que abre sus tiendas del gobierno, le baja los precios a los costos de la comida 30%, y la gente pues viene y compra más barato. Ahora, no está abierto todo el tiempo, creo que hay nada más 2 días al mes, y lo que alcanza y lo que no. Pero ahora lo que se le está ocurriendo a este güey es que pues solamente van a poder entrar personas que vivan en Nueva York. No van a poder venir personas de New Jersey, de ningún otro lado más que de la ciudad de Nueva York. ¿Y qué va a hacer para que nada más pase eso? Pues va a pedir IDs para que nada más entren los residentes de Nueva York, de la ciudad de Nueva York, a las tiendas. Pero para eso los IDs no son racistas, no son discriminatorios, no son nada, son buenos. Pero para votar por nuestros dirigentes que nos pueden joder la vida, nos las pueden mejorar, sí es discriminatorio tener ID. Es la ideología de los Democratas. Y por eso Joe Rogan está que dice, o sea, qué contradicción tan hija de la chintola, güey. Aparte, que déjenme les digo que acaban de salir investigaciones, me voy a salir un poquitito del tema, donde gracias a no tener ID para votar, se acaba de descubrir que el 20% de la gente que votó en Nueva York para votar por Mamdani ni siquiera son permitidos, no son ciudadanos americanos, tienen Social Securities falsos, no son ciudadanos, no viven en la ciudad de Nueva York. Y ese 20% pues fue la diferencia que hizo que Mamdani ganara. O sea, digamos que vino gente de todos lados de Estados Unidos que no viven en Nueva York a joderles la vida a los de Nueva York votando en las elecciones de Nueva York, y ganó Mamdani. Y ahora Mamdani quiere excluir a toda la gente que no sea de Nueva York para nada más dar a la gente de Nueva York la comida con IDs. O sea, háganme el favor, güey. Es así como trabajan los comunistas. Cambian las reglas para ellos beneficiarse, pero para que ya todo sea justo, ahí sí no quieren, porque entonces pierden. Y es lo mismo que estamos haciendo. Este güey es discriminatorio con el ID para las tiendas, pero no quiere que haya ID para votar, porque ahí sí es discriminatorio. Háganme el favor, güey. Y es lo que Joe Rogan está diciendo abiertamente.
You're like, oh yeah, here we go. And people are like, do you know what you just did?
Yeah.
Do you know what you just did?
Put yourself a checkmate.
Jesus fucking Christ, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen anybody say when you just got done saying that you don't want people to show ID for voting. Because it'll
disenfranchise them.
Especially poor people. They're talking about poor people and people of color, which are the people that you would think, the poor people are the ones who are going to use your grocery stores. So you're going to disenfranchise them from getting access to your 30% off groceries.
That's right.
You know what's bizarre about that argument,
They
too?
won't ask for ID. Meaning New Yorkers can buy cheap goods. So, but they asked him today, and that was what he indicated, that they were going to find out whether or not you're actually from New York. Well, how else are you going to do that?
You have to have ID.
I think this is just a response to the reaction, like saying that. August 3rd, which is today, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is what they said after what he said. So what he said was yesterday. So there's probably a massive blowback where people realize how crazy it is to say that. But it's also, the whole thing is like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we trying socialism? There's like a giant percentage of the population that thinks that's a good idea. It's like 34%.
Coming out of the East again, by the way.
They really believe it, too. They really believe it.
Well, you recently pissed off Chelsea Handler, I saw.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No.
Oh.
What happened?
Well, I guess she's very upset with you because she believes that you're an evil capitalist pig who makes too much money.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny. She's rich. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's what she said? I make too much?
Chelsea Handler es otra comediante güera, más liberal, brothers. O sea, esta es de las que hace chistes acerca de cuántos abortos ha tenido en su vida. Es el tipo de comediante que es Chelsea Handler. súper de izquierda, pero se salió del mapa de tanta izquierda que se fue. Y esta está odiando critica a Joe Rogan por ser millonario. Cuando ella es millonaria, güey. O sea, güey, a veces de verdad pienso que este problema del comunismo y de la izquierda y todo eso, no es un problema de verdad de que quieren apoderarse del mundo. Es un problema de que están tontos. O sea, dices, güey, ¿cómo es posible que esta vieja que es millonaria critique al otro millonario por ser millonario? O sea... Okay.
Yeah,
number.
that's what she was. Yeah, yeah. She was very, very perturbed.
Oh, I think she's just getting attention. I can't be bothered. But I know her. I've known her forever. I wrote a blurb for one of her earlier books. Never had a bad word to say about her publicly. Every time I've seen her, I think I've given her a hug. So I don't know what's going on, but it has nothing to do with me. You know, whatever it is,
well, I bring it up because
it
sounds like seething jealousy. And so the interesting part is, like, I think a lot of the socialism stuff that's moving out of the East has a lot to do with that, too. Mm-hmm. There's the idea of class jealousy.
There's a little bit of that, but there's also a little bit of young kids really feel like the system is rigged and that these pigs have gobbled up all the gold. And they're being told that. And so this is a thing, you know, like Billie Eilish said, hey, man, no one needs to be a billionaire. Give away your money, homie. Like, it's
crazy.
It's crazy because you're rich.
Yes,
okay? And
very rich.
You also live on a house that's on Indian land. You know, you see the Native Americans that originally owned the land in which her house is.
Otra Billie Eilish que se la pasa criticando a los millonarios y se pasa criticando que no queremos dejar entrar a una invasión de inmigrantes ilegales como lo hizo Biden, pero ella no le abre las puertas de su mansión y de su terreno que tiene miles de hectáreas para los inmigrantes que necesitan casa. Entonces, está mal que el país no abra sus fronteras para que nos invadan, pero ella no abre sus puertas para que la invadan. O sea, es la doble moral que tienen los de la izquierda, literalmente siempre, güey. O sea...
No, I don't...
But it's the idea comes from a good place. I know in their heart of hearts they think that they're being kind and they think that they're doing the right thing. They really do. They think they're being inclusive. They think they're righting the wrongs of colonialism. They really think that.
Yeah.
And they think that this idea of democratic socialism is a really good idea because there are some examples of socialist policies that do work, like the fire department, and there's a bunch of stuff that makes sense. But the problem with enforcing any of this stuff that they don't understand is it always comes down to power. Mm-hmm. You have to have massive authority and usually guns because you can't just steal people's money. They're not going to let you. They're not going to let you just come in and decide, hey, we just devised a new tax where everybody who makes more than $500,000 a year, everything over that, you have to give 100% to the state.
Or 95, whatever it is.
And here's the thing with the argument. Even if you said, oh, wouldn't it be great if they did contribute more and would it be, but they have so much money, wouldn't it set up the world in a better place? Sure. But the fucking program that you have in place that takes the taxes and disseminates it is massively flawed and corrupt. It's corrupt. It's filled with waste. Yeah. Filled with waste. There's scammers all over the place. You've got $24 billion missing in just the homeless in California. And then they veto the audits when everybody's trying to find out. So just saying
that's just the tip of the iceberg.
More taxes is what we need is nuts. The first thing you should do is clean your fucking house.
Yeah.
Clean your house.
Tiene toda la razón. Y, o sea, güey... Todos lo hemos dicho, pero gracias a que alguien con la voz que tiene Joe Rogan, que es impresionantemente grande a nivel mundial, hasta que no lo dice alguien como él, no se toma en cuenta. Y por eso es importante que lo hable, porque tiene la exposición para decirlo. O sea, güey, ¿de qué sirve que paguemos impuestos si todo lo que pagamos se va para programas corruptos? Y yo hablo de California, yo vivo aquí en California. Programas más corruptos que la chintola. Y, o sea, dices, güey, allá en Nueva York... Mamdani, muy socialista, ¿qué hizo? ¿Qué fue lo primero que hizo cuando entró al poder de alcalde? Subirse el sueldo. O sea, dices, güey, espérame, le estás congelando las rentas a todo el mundo, quieres quitarle propiedades a la gente, estás poniendo tiendas del gobierno y no quieres dejar entrar a todos, quieres pedir ID. Y aparte de todo, Nueva York tiene un déficit, una deuda hija de la chintola. ¡Ah! Pero espérenme tantito, los $275,000 que hago al año como alcalde no me alcanza. Entonces quiero 350,000 y se acaba de hacer un aumento de $350,000 el güey. O sea, dices, güey, como decimos siempre, las reglas son para todos menos para mí. Volvemos a lo mismo de los comunistas, güey. O sea, es lo mismo siempre, güey.
If you want more money, you got to figure out what you did with the first money. Why is there so much waste? Why is there so much money missing? Why do you have 38,000 NGLs? Why do the people running the homeless business, because it is a business, why are they making $750,000? That's a lot of money.
Totalmente cierto. ¿Por qué hay 350,000 compañías no gubernamentales que reciben dinero del gobierno para que manejen y resuelvan el problema de los homeless en California? Pues porque estas NGOs, las organizaciones no gubernamentales, son gente que son amigos del gobernador, les da el dinero, le devuelven lana por debajo y no hacen ni más, se lo clavan porque los homeless siguen aumentando, güey. O sea, ¿qué han hecho? ¿A dónde se ha ido? Como dice él, ahí es donde se van nuestros taxes. Por eso nadie quiere pagar taxes. Y como dice él, si pagando más taxes los millonarios que hacen una lanota se mejorara el mundo, es bueno, pues órale, güey, va. Pero no, güey, solamente haces más ricos a los tranzas. Y no arreglas nada, güey. Ah, no, pero cóbrenles más taxes a los millonarios. No manchen.
Not to administrate the homeless camps.
Yeah,
Joe.
they need to eat well.
Y obviamente no soy un millonario, O sea, no los estoy defendiendo porque yo soy millonario y no quiero que me cobren. No, güey, ojalá fuera millonario. Pero entiendo lo que sienten porque a mí me lo hacen también, pero a diferente escala. Lo poco que ganamos se nos va en impuestos, 3/4 partes. La mitad de nuestro sueldo, lo que hacemos, se nos va en impuestos. ¿Y a dónde se van? A lo mismo. Pues, güey, por eso la gente se va de California a otros estados donde no te cobren tantos impuestos, incluyendo Joe Rogan. Se fue a Texas porque estaba hasta el gorro de California, le bajaba más de la mitad de lo que él hace al año, güey. O sea,
Need to go to Felix and have a nice dinner.
It's hilarious to me, too. You saw all the waste and fraud that's been going on in these various states when it comes to, elder people getting their funds, right?
Yes.
You've seen all of this happening. And of course, they're all trying to run away from it as quickly as possible. But this is the problem, and I bring it back kind of to this idea of the class system. When you have under universal suffrage especially, when you have the voters outnumber the wealthy, you can just vote yourself a raise. You can always vote yourself more money from whatever the upper class is. And that has been progressive dogma and doctrine since I was a kid. The entire idea is, hey, things are fundamentally unfair, and that's not your fault. So what we have to do is get together and vote ourselves a raise from the upper class. That's what we got to do. But it fundamentally ignores how wealth is created. And wealth is not created by giving somebody money.
Right.
But what happens when you give somebody money is they go and spend it, but they usually don't use it to generate wealth. It almost never, in fact, they use it to generate wealth. And so you vote yourself these raises, you vote yourself from the public treasury money to yourself. But what does it actually do for you ultimately? Because that's not how you generate wealth. Ever.
Not only that, you incentivize people to move to a place that's more friendly to their economic ideas.
¿Qué es lo que hizo Joe Rogan? Se movió a Texas porque aquí en California le bajaban, como millonario que es, le bajaban más de la mitad del sueldo, güey. O sea...
True. You also... But one of the fundamental kind of ideas here that's flawed, how many times can you vote yourself the wealth of those above you before they have no more wealth to give you? Out east, in fact, when you see these communists, Mamdani, things like this, they're going to institute all of their programs on your dime. It's not like they have money. And whenever I talk to people about wealth disparity, what's really funny to me is they always seem to think that the government can just materialize wealth without there having to be some payback for that wealth.
Yeah.
We saw this during COVID-19, the lockdowns. You remember they were handing out money like it was candy to various businesses that were shut down, COVID relief funds, things like this. And then they go, oh, inflation's out of control. Yeah, is it? You're kidding, is it? Do you mean the government can't just materialize $1 trillion and not inflate the money supply? Well, that's just, go figure.
Right.
And so a lot of times these socialists, they even try to make the promise like, hey, we're only going to tax them after this rate. But it's never enough money for them to fund their socialist programs to begin with. The government will have to materialize money.
Not only that, if you give them more money, they're going to expand the government.
100%.
They will expand.
Oh, yeah.
And they will expand their programs, and they'll expand the fraud, and they'll expand the waste. The other weird thing that Mamdani's done is make a list of all the people that are rich. Do you see that?
Yeah.
He released a list of all the people that may have to pay more taxes.
Y sí, sacó una lista de los millonarios en Nueva York con casas de millones de dólares o departamentos, condominios, para que la gente sepa dónde viven, quiénes son. O sea, imagínate que pongan tu dirección públicamente, así abiertamente, como diciendo, estos son los millonarios a los que hay que exterminar. Literalmente eso fue lo que hizo, güey. O sea...
Hey, what are you doing? You just made a list of targets, and you're putting these people in a bad position. Like that seems really crazy to do.
But don't you think that these people they actually do think that wealthy people are evil?
I don't know if he does. I think that's it's a bit of you're going along with whichever way that plastic bag is flying in the breeze. And that's where it's flying right now, is that wealthy people are evil. So you say that, and it's a great excuse to tax the shit out of them. And it's also a great excuse to pretend that, you're making meaningful change and you're really doing the right thing for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's all
Why
got to
you
be
destroy
for the community.
the community.
Yeah, why you destroy the community. Because the money is going to leave the state. The money's going to leave the city. And that's the reality and it's not that they're greedy. It's that they don't want you to take their money. You didn't earn it. You didn't make an iPhone. Go fuck yourself. And if you think that people should have a cap on how much money they make based on, what arbitrary numbers that you come up in your own head, well, you're going to exclude any extraordinary outliers from creating incredible products,
Destroys
massive
innovation.
companies. Yeah, maybe it's nuts that someone wants to be a trillionaire. Yeah, I agree. I don't want. It seems fucking insane. But you have to have the freedom to be able to want to do that if you're all playing the same game. If you're playing a game and you decide I only need 250 points, and this one guy's like, I want a fucking 100 million points, like that crazy guy, that Tiger Woods guy, that guy who's gonna fucking practice 12 hours a day, he's gonna make the most. He's gonna do the most. He's gonna make the bigger company. He's gonna put more in it.
Yeah.
He's gonna die of cancer because he fucking is massively stressed out 24 hours a day. That's his prerogative. You should be concerned if that person has an undue influence in your life.
Well, and they already tax the hell out of him anyway.
They do.
They already tax the bejesus out of these people.
Y tiene razón, la gente, los socialistas dicen, no les cobramos taxes a los millonarios, no pagan nada de taxes, no pagan impuestos. Es la peor mentira que se ha dicho en la historia y la gente los cree. Tiene razón Andrew Wilson, dice, ¿sabes qué? Pues ya les cobran. Elon Musk es el primer trillonario supuestamente en la Tierra. No lo creo, yo creo que ha habido otros que no son públicos, pero debe de haber. Pero supongamos que Elon Musk es el primer trillonario, con T. Ese güey lo dijo, yo soy el hombre que más impuestos paga en el mundo. Pues sí, güey, o sea, claro, eso de que dicen de que no pagan impuestos, no es cierto eso, o sea... Sí, que saben manejar muy bien porque tienen los mejores contadores y saben utilizar los loopholes, como se le llama, o darle vuelta al sistema para pagar menos. Sí, debe de ser, pero pagan una lana. Son los que mantienen el rollo en el que estamos, güey. Así nada más, con eso les digo eso. O sea, eso de que no les cobran ni la AOC, todos los comunistas, cóbrenle impuestos a los ricos, cóbrenles impuestos, pues cóbrenles, ustedes mismos son los ricos congresistas tranzas que están apostándole a la bolsa de valores cuando saben que una compañía va a subir. Por eso salen millonarios. Ah, no, pero sí, la Pelosi. Cóbrenle taxes a los millonarios. Pues tú eres millonaria, güey. Tú te hiciste millonaria, ahora sí que burlándote del pueblo americano, apostando en la bolsa de valores, sabiendo qué compañías iban a subir. Y de tu sueldo, que era de 175,000 al año, saliste del Congreso después de tus 20 años de trabajo con 150 millones de dólares. O sea... Todo porque estuviste apostando a la bolsa de valores. Ah, no, sí, pero cóbrenle taxes a los millonarios. Pues tú eres millonario, güey. Pero volvemos a lo mismo. Los comunistas, todo En contra de todos menos para mí. Yo sí puedo ser millonario, yo no quiero pagar impuestos, yo sí me subo el sueldo, ustedes no. Brothers, yo sí quiero ID para que no entren a mis tiendas los que no tienen que entrar, pero que no haya ID para votar. O sea, váyanse a la burger, díganme qué piensan, los veo en los comentarios, chavitos, suscríbanse, por favor compartan, no se les olvide que los amo.